Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today what we're working on is the old Ridgeline, and I wanted to just kind of go over some of the confusion, or at least some of the confusion that I found when I started doing my research on doing a speaker swap for one of these trucks, and just kind of show you how I'm going to go about doing it. For starters, the doors that are in the Honda Ridgeline are pretty shallow. So you're going to want to, from what I'm reading anyway, you're going to want to run with a slim mount speaker. And I just have an aftermarket Pioneer head unit with a little monitor in it and stuff. So it's, you know, I'm not looking for anything crazy. No, there's no amp or anything like that. So if you're just looking to try to upgrade your crappy Honda Ridgeline speakers for something a little bit more quality, something that's a little bit more new, you know, this is, you know, from what I've read, the way to go, and I like POLK. So without further ado, let me show you some of the problems you're going to run into. I just first ordered the speakers, and, you know, I was going to pull my door panels off and go ahead and, you know, just start putting them in. But once you get that door panel off, you'll realize that Honda doesn't really use a traditional speaker. This actually is the remnant of the factory speaker, and they basically built like the cheapest quality garbage speaker you could possibly make into this little frame that basically sits in the door. And they don't even cut out a normal circle in the door metal, they just cut like a V triangle. I'll show you that coming up. So my redneck ingenuity, since I didn't have these little speaker adapters, which you will need, decided to kind of just, you know, break out the tabs, and I was going to set my speaker in here and then use this as a mount or a flange so I had the proper recess and mount the speaker in properly. Well, a couple of problems ensue. Number one, attachment becomes an issue because these like to break when you pull them off, and two, you need to get a really long ass screw to go through here and then pop into your door, and it's just a hodgepodge bad way of installation. It's just going to create problems and bad. So went online, found these Scoosh speaker adapters. They're part number SAHR6 06 in our Ridgeline. Basically it's the exact same thing as the existing speaker, but modified to take an actual aftermarket speaker, and these are about yay thick, in case anybody's wondering. So basically what you do, drop the speaker in here, pull open your little adapter here, and you'll see that it's got two sets of holes. It's got one set of holes to actually receive the speaker, so you mount the speaker first to the adapter, and then it's got a nice set of holes right here that will take a standard size self-tapping screw or regular screw to go into your door frame. So just a much better approach on how to do this. I also noticed when I pulled it off, and this isn't a huge deal, I mean, you guys know I do a lot of wiring and everything else, but these guys right here were $7 a pack, so 14 bucks right here. Oh yeah, by the way, all in all, 15 bucks for these, 15 bucks for these, so 30 bucks in total adapter parts, just to clear it up, and I got them on Amazon Prime. The speakers actually have this connector here in the door that connected to the factory speaker. So what these are basically are just adapters that go from your factory speaker to an actual aftermarket typical spade connector, just like these would take back here. So these will go in also just to kind of clear up any, you know, wiring issue there. So this will be a proper installation. This isn't going to be just like a slap it together just to get something to fit kind of thing. So let me take you over to the truck and just kind of show you what you're dealing with. I'll also walk you through how to pull the door panel off and whatnot. This is going to be a long video, so just fast forward if you're tired of hearing me talk. Okay, for demonstration purposes, let's take you over to where an actual speaker would sit. This is a rear door, the right rear door on the Ridgeline, and let's pull our factory speaker housing. And basically these clips broke off when I was taking it out, these bottom ones, and I was careful. So basically these bottom clips go into these receiver holes here, and then this top clip that also broke off goes into this receiver hole up here. So basically when it's installed, bingo, that's how it sits. It pushes your speaker out about an inch to clear the window, because you're going to be tempted to just take your speaker and drill it right to the door and maybe cut some of this out, but it's going to hit your window when your window goes down. So there's a reason for Honda's madness here. So you need the right flange. So don't try to skip this step. So that basically just sat there, and then the speaker was built into this, and I'll show you one when I pull off the next door panel. So here's the new ones by Scoosh, I guess it's called, and it's got the little prongs and tabs in here already. So these are gonna just kind of lay in here like that, and then they kind of clip in real nice, and then you just put a screw here and a screw here once you attach your speaker. So just a real clean installation. And then this is your typical Honda speaker connector here that unplugged from the factory speaker. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and set up this on the tripod and kind of show you the process. Okay, for the sake of time, I have installed 2 screws already, and these aren't going to sit traditionally normal in the vehicle. They're going to kind of sit a little canted because that's how the mounting holes line up here on the back end. So you want to set it up to actually accept the mounts for your particular speaker, and then start screwing in your screws. And be very careful. You're gonna it's kind of self-explanatory, but don't use a power drill to try to get this done faster, because you risk poking your screwdriver into the butyl surround. So I like to kind of put my thumb right here just in case my screwdriver slips, and then I just very gently start to thread it in. Just start to go. Just take your time, really. Actually, let me just make sure this is yep, that's one of them. So you're just gonna you want to kind of get a feel for where the receiver hole is on the speaker adapter. And it'll start to go in with some resistance, and at that point, just start applying a little more pressure. Self-explanatory, but definitely not a rush job. This isn't like back in the day where you could just, rip your door panel off or just pull a speaker out and screw one back in. It's kind of a newer cars kind of make it a process. So there's 3 screws. I'm actually going to mount 4 screws on each speaker, just for proper securing and attaching here. And I got my little, I always try to pick these up on eBay. It's a little screw assortment. Just try to have a good amount of hardware on hand, so you're not always trying to run back to the hardware store all the time and trying to get little screws. You acquire them over the years. Just be real careful with your screwdriver not to make it slip. But this is just such a better way of doing it. So there you go. There's your speaker, properly ready to go into a Honda vehicle. It's very secured. It's taken 4 screws. Everything went in nice and tight. Everything is clean. So now I'm going to go over to the truck, go ahead and install my little adapter here, and then set these tabs in, and then set my 2 self-tapping screws, which I'm going to run with these right here. Typical self-tapping screw. It's just like a normal screw, except it kind of has like a drill head on it. Like that. You see it there. And that little head actually starts to drill away some of the metal, and then it zips in. So go ahead and take you over there, and let's show you that. Okay, here we are at the door. First thing I have here is my little speaker connector here, so I'm going to go on ahead and pop that in. Like that. So now we're ready to plug into our speaker. The 2 connectors, one's a little bit wider than the other. This one's wider, this one's smaller, obviously positive and negative. Let's find our negative terminal on the speaker. Pop that guy in there. Pop that in there. So that's just typical standard speaker stuff there. And then now you just want to be careful and get your tabs lined up here at the bottom. And you can set your, there you go, just kind of firmly push down. And you'll see, this isn't like, I don't know, I've noticed it's not really like perfect. This tab over here, this little ear over here, wants to kind of sit on this little ridge here, so it's going to kind of bend a little bit when you attach, but nothing not too big of a deal here. Just checking my alignment there. So let's go ahead and grab a self-tapping screw right here. Get the first one set, and I'm gonna go with the right side first. Just got a regular Makita drill. My arm might get in the way here, but you just do it like that. Just be careful. If you haven't really used a self-tapping screw or a drill or anything like that before, practice on something so you don't go through something you don't want to. Yeah, these like little ridges just cause like a little bit of a concern for me, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and just rely on the bracket on that lower area. Go ahead and run this one in on the left. Just like that. And that's solid. That's not going anywhere. It's not going to vibrate. So that's the proper way to get the speaker in. And then, like I said, there's an ear down here at the bottom, but it's on a seam for the actual door. I don't want to risk it. It's secure enough. It's got the bottom clips in here, so nothing to worry about there. So that's kind of the gist. And you can see all the way around, and that goes in nice. It just bends a tiny bit, but that's the nature of the beast. So I'm going to test this speaker sound, and then I'll show you how to pull off a door panel on the back door and the front doors. Okay, here we are at a left rear door of a Honda Ridgeline. And basically, this is pretty easy to do. You can do it with some standard tools. You're going to need a Phillips head. You're going to need a really thin screwdriver. And then you're going to need a body separating tool, but if you don't have one of those, you can use a regular flathead screwdriver. Just be careful. That's going to be for prying. But your first area of interest is right in here. There's a little pad that you got going on there. You want to just kind of flip that out of the way. And there's a screw right there. That's a Phillips head. You want to back this out. I got a lot of crap in my little cup holder or handle thing here. It's hard to hold the camera. I don't have a cameraman. Okay, back that one out. Screw out of there. Set the screw aside. Then you're going to look in the handle area here and get your little pry tool here, and there's a little lip on this cover. You want to just kind of, just scratch that. That's what I get. Hold the handle open. Let me get my tripod working here. Hold on. Okay. Hold the handle open here. And just pry that off. I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time. It's just gonna lift out. It's just this little piece. Put that aside. And then we'll take you in here. You'll see that there's two Phillips head screws. Those come out, and that basically gets your handle free. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Straightforward. Just don't lose your screws. Take your time. Remember, you're dealing with plastic and you're dealing with a Honda, and plastic brakes and Honda parts are expensive, so go slow. And you want to be replacing parts, clips. I hate that you have to take door panels off to replace speakers, but my speakers are shot, and you will see that here once I get this panel off. Okay, so now that that's done, you're just gonna kind of pull this handle out, and there's a little latch mechanism that's here on the back of the handle. Take you up here so you can see it. See this? In order to free this up, you want to pull this. This is going to come out like that. And then you're just going to press right here and pop the little metal piece out of there. Let's do that now. And this is basically what opens your door, so don't break the plastic clip on it. Just like that. Take that out, set it aside. And basically when you pull on this now, you can see your door latch opening on that side. So now that this is freed up mechanically in terms of screws, you're going to get your little screwdriver here, and first place you want to start on is over here. You want to get this off of here. So just kind of lift and pull gently, just like that. It'll come loose. You want to pull straight out. You can see the clip in here. There's that piece. And then I start back here. Just kind of lift and pop. You'll hear them pop. Just like that. Try to get your fingers down in here. Pop it. And then on the final little maneuver here, you're just going to lift up on the panel. And don't rush it. And don't be quick to pull it away because you still have electronics attached. Your window switch is back here. You're going to want to reach around and disconnect that. Just like that. And then you also have a little light. It's going to pop out. That little light that's illuminated, that one comes out. And there's your door panel off. And that exposes your speaker. Here. Let's inspect. This one's cracked right there. It's completely dry rotted. It's bad. It's just junk. So I'll show you how to remove these speakers. There's a tab right here. So when you try to pull, it doesn't move. There's a tab sitting right here you want to push down on. And as you push down, you pull out. And that gets it like that, and then you lift up and that pops it out. And these are the worst speakers made in history. So if you're scared about doing this job, don't freak out. It's definitely well worth it. There they are. They're just real bad, shitty, just paper, really. So, I mean, look at that tiny magnet. China junk. So yeah, just repeat the process that I just showed you in the beginning part of the video, and you'll be good to go. So hopefully this helps anybody with a Ridgeline. And let me know if you have any questions. Later. Okay, I went ahead and mounted the rest of the 3 POLK speakers here in the mounts. Kind of see them there. They look really good. One other thing I like about these POLKs is that I have the tan interior for the Ridgeline, and this sounds like nitpicky, but I like how it's not going to be some weird color when you look through the screen on the speaker door panel. So yeah, that's to save myself some time to stay on one task at a time. I went on ahead and just installed these in. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the rest of it.